You all believe in limited government. I believe in limited government. I'm an anarchist. I believe in really limited government, right? But you touched on
socialist and anarchist.
No.
You can't be both.
Let me finish. Okay? So you said, you guys were touching on something a little bit earlier. You said there is no conservative Antifa. Conservatives don't protest.
I said that.
Yeah. Do you know why?
Conservative Antifa.
I'll tell you why. There's no conservative Antifa. Conservatives, as a rule, don't protest because money talks. And you don't want limited government. You want limited government for yourselves. You don't want limited government for the working people. I'll tell you why. Because let me finish. Right? The reason there is no conservative Antifa, the reason that conservatives don't protest is because you don't need to. You hold the levers of power anyway. You own the police. You own the army. You own the media. Right? You don't need to protest. You get other people to do it for you.
Wait, okay, so...
As a class, as a collective, conservatism and the right wing rules the media. It rules the police.
Whoa, stop. I know, this is a little... There's so many... No, you've made a few, though. You've made a few here.
We talk about free speech. I'll be 2 more minutes. So you talk about limited...
No. First off, saying we rule the media, have you read a single article about Turning Point UK? Have you read a single article about Turning Point UK? Because by that standards, you're ruling the media. If you've looked at anything that's been said about us before we got here, you're ruling the media. Secondly, this idea of trying to, I'm tired of this like lazy intellectual argument of like conservatives are all rich white people, because that's what you're doing here when you say like you guys are the ruling elites. No, people, you're correct that we have jobs and we can't show up at 8 a.m. in the morning. No. I know. I'm gonna come back to you. You're correct that we have jobs and we can't show up. You've heard me. I came from absolutely nothing, so I'm not gonna let you do this little like ooh woe is me workers part. That's my entire life. Okay, I'm a conservative because I believe in hard work, and I think it's lazy to stand outside and hold a sign. I think it's lazy, okay? So if that's your excuse, you're not gonna get away with this with me, okay? You're not gonna paint conservatives as rich people that are in power and in control. You're talking to the wrong girl, okay? So come with an intellectual argument about why it is that conservatives don't riot and protest and incite violence in the middle of the street, because the answer is not because they're rich and controlling the media.
It's because we're better people.
It's your ideology.
Because we have decency and standards.
We have jobs.
I'd like an opportunity to come back on this, if possible. I thought Candice raised some very good points, and I'd like the opportunity to come back on those points. So firstly, right, when I talk about conservatives, I'm not stereotyping them as rich white people. I'm talking about them as people that subscribe to an ideology. And that ideology is the ideology of the corporation and the rule of the corporations and the rule of the corporations and the rich over the poor. Whether you are rich or whether you are poor, you support that ideology.
You're just wrong.
Now, let me just say one more thing about you talking about how you came from nothing. Well, I congratulate you on that. Thanks. But there's a lot of people out there that didn't. This society leaves behind a lot of losers. I congratulate you for being a winner, but how many heads did you step on to get there?
The point that I'm making is anybody can make something themselves in a free market society. That is why I am a conservative. It's not because I'm rich. It's not because I come from money. And what you're using right now is bad stereotypes to come up with you're using bad stereotypes to come up with an unsound argument. Imagine if you spent...
I want to raise my class. I want to raise my people. I don't want to raise myself. I want to raise my people. And let me tell you something.
You want to raise what?
I talk to all you Tories in here. Every single one of you. I work hard, and I'm a working class man. Right? Let me tell you something, right? These are the hands, my friend, the hands that make the things that you enjoy.
Don't put your hands in someone's face.
These hands are going to do your progression because we are winning, you are losing. These are the hands,
Typical leftist violence. Typical leftist violence. No, but this is what we're saying.
These are the hands that will take from you that which you stole from us as a class. I raised my class, not myself.
I come from less than you. You're not noble. You're not giving some speech that's going to be remembered for the next 10 years, okay? You sound pathetic and like you need to get a job. I don't know, that's like the weirdest thing that you're doing right now. What do you think you are, like Martin Luther King, and we're all going to look back and go, oh my God, thank God for that speech. These hands are going to come. You sound violent, you sound unhinged, and you sound like you're disproportionately angry at conservatives because we don't riot and incite violence in the middle of the street. You sound ridiculous. You just said you're going to put your hands around his throat. What sort of example are you leading for the people in your community?
Put your hands on my throat.
What are you doing? Because the truth is, let me tell you what leftists are. You're envious of people that work harder than you. That's all you're doing right now. You're being envious, and socialism is the creed of envy and greed.